and film. Ooh,
Ooh, I already know who's made this. Oh, it turned the brightness down.
okay.
Walk through the history of horror movies. Oh, it went away.
You can, yeah.
Walk through the history of horror movies, from silent German movies about vampires to tales of racism driven by body snatching. Every room is a partial recreation of an iconic scene or location from the movie in question, so you can experience a little bit of the terror. Red is a brief synopsis of the movie, green is a brief description of the scene the room is depicting, and blue is fun facts about the movie. Some creative liberties were taken in certain rooms to improve the experience. In certain rooms, the exit will be camouflaged with walk-through walls. In case you're lost, please follow the trail of blood. Okay.
Nice.
What
Hey,
the?
what are you doing?
There's a dock in the wall.
Oh, that's the secret room.
Ooh, he's watching us.
We're underwater.
Oh,
Oh. Oh.
ah!
Uh,
Red.
oh yeah, I think we need to go back. Yeah,
All right.
we're not supposed to see this.
No, I just walked backwards into the wall and I phased through it.
We solved the escape room, guys. Ooh,
Ah, Frankenstein.
this is
Cool.
Frankenstein.
Nice.
Frankenstein was actually the doctor. 1931. How the hell do you pronounce that? Based on the homonymous 1818 novel by Mary Shelley, this film tells the story of Henry Frankenstein, a scientist that is obsessed with creating life. In his pursuit, he succeeds in giving life to a creature fashioned from parts of multiple bodies, the so called monster. This is a piece of the laboratory where Dr. Frankenstein assembled and gave life to the monster. Lightning is focused towards the operating table, and the jolt of electricity is enough to make the monster's heart beat. Ooh. Can we see his heart? Oh, I guess not. Oh, lots of stuff.
Yeah, I think we can skip the last
The
one.
name of the doctor was changed from Victor in the novel to Henry in the movie because the filmmakers believed the original name sounded too villainous and threatening to American audience. It's a fucking horror movie. Many of the details of the film are popular today in pop culture, are exclusive to the movie, and are not present in the novel, such as the monster's design with a flat head and bolts on the neck, and Frankenstein's hunchback lab assistant Igor. Due to the heavy marketing focus on the creature, pop culture and general knowledge created an effect where the name of the creature was perceived as Frankenstein, when in fact the name of the, when in fact it's the name of the doctor character. In the film, the creature is only referred to as Frankenstein's monster.
All right. The more you know.
Very cool. I dig it. Very grayscale. I'm assuming that's on purpose.
Is it a black and white movie?
I get. Well, it was made in 1908. What? When was it? I gotta read this again.
That's
31.
1931.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
definitely.
Did the Wizard of Oz come out before that? We might find out in this exhibit. Wait, no, that's not a horror movie. Actually, it kind of is. Kong, King Kong. Okay.
Yeah.
King Kong, 1933, directed by Marion C. Cooper and Ernest B. Schoedsack. Mouthful. The movie tells the story of a crew who visits a mysterious island for a shoot and discover a giant prehistoric ape living in there. Chaos ensues when the gorilla kidnaps a woman from the group while on a rampage through New York. This miniature recreates the climax of the movie where Kong takes a young Anne in his hands and climbs to the top of the Empire State Building, where he's met with a fleet of planes trying to shoot him. Planes manage to shoot him down just as Anne's lover reaches the scene to rescue her. The movie ends with a statement by the filmmaker Denham that it wasn't the planes that took down the ape, it was in fact beauty that killed the beast.
Nice.
The script for the movie came from an idea Marion had about a giant ape atop the world's tallest building, fighting airplanes. The rest of the plot was crafted in such a way to lead to this specific climax. Okay, so you start with the end and then you work your way up. Okay.
And all of a sudden, dog appears in the scene.
The movie grossed $90,000 on its opening weekend, a record at the time. A mix of real and fake plants were used for the trees in the stop-motion scenes. In one instance, a flower bloomed without anyone noticing, which resulted in a time-lapse of the blooming process caught in one of the scenes and a day of footage lost to the continuity error. Huh.
Don't forget Polarized.
They got a sequel.
I like the one with Jack Black where they're getting attacked by those bugs. That was terrifying.
I've never seen this movie.
Ooh. Spooky. Alright.
Oh, very nice.
The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, I'm assuming, 1920. Directed by Robert Wien. Considered one of the most important works of German Expressionism, this film tells the story of a crazy hypnotist who takes advantage of a somnambulist, brainwashing him to commit murders. The movie is famous for the set design, full of hand-painted lines, sharp edges, and oppressive atmosphere. It's also considered the first horror movie to have a plot twist. Oh, shit. This space represents one of the many hand-painted sets in the movie, a street where many of the scenes and conversations between the characters take place. The set is mostly viewed from one angle. If you want to experience it, go to the painted tunnel near the entrance of the room and look towards the exit. The movie was such a success to a specific Parisian theater that it was played there for 7 years straight. Good God. The whole set was made out of paper. The shadows, windows, doors, and fake stairs were all hand painted. Since it was made before horror was viewed as a genre, some considered this the first true horror film. Neat. Stand at the tunnel. Ooh. I love it. Very crazy.
I mean, this feels like a real exhibit.
You're not allowed to go up. There's an invisible ceiling.
I like the darkening effect.
It's very cool. All right. Oh. Okay. Oh, it's got to be Nosferatu.
Oh, I like.
Uh-oh. There it is. No. Yep, Nosferatu, a symphony of horror, 1922, directed by F.W. Murnau. Considered a pioneer on the representation of horror in cinema, this expressionist German movie tells the tale of a vampire called Count Orlok who becomes obsessed with a young lady named Ellen. Seeking Ellen, the Count then makes his way from Transylvania to the German town of Wisborg, if I'm pronouncing that right, bringing a plague with him. A depiction of the iconic scene of Count Orlok creeping up a set of stairs on Ellen's house. This scene showcases Ellen's sacrifice, where she willingly invites the vampire into her home to lure him towards an open window, exposing him to the sunrise. Crafty. It was banned in many countries for excessive horror. In Sweden, for instance, it remained banned until 1972. Huh. The movie is heavily based on Bram Stoker's novel Dracula, even though most of the names were changed to avoid a lawsuit. Bram Stoker's widow managed to destroy most of the negatives in a settlement. This film is considered to be the first instance of vampires burning on sunlight in media, and it's responsible for popularizing this trope. Very cool. I love it.
Interesting.
It's all black and white. The whole exhibit.
Yeah.
Alright. Can I tell what this is before? Oh, this has to be what is it? Alfred Hitchcock. Maybe. I guess I'll find it. Yep, Psycho. 1960, Alfred Hitchcock. After the disappearance of a young woman named Marion, her boyfriend Crane and her sister Leela follow her trail to her last known location, a roadside hotel run by the shy Norman Bates and his domineering elderly mother. Psycho is considered one of the classic films that helped spread and popularize horror in film, as well as the use of iconic score stings. So I'm assuming it's like that very high, like piano, or not piano, violin, like screech. This is a recreation of the fruit cellar located below the Bates residence. Towards the end of the movie, Lila makes her way to the cellar and finds the long decomposing body of Mrs. Bates, revealing that the killer was Norman dressed as his mother all along. Just then, Normal tries to attack her, but is immobilized by Crane and taken to the authorities. The cast was made to vow not to divulge any information about the plot of the movie to the press while shooting was ongoing. The ending was not disclosed to the crew until the day of shooting. The iconic shower scene took 6 days of filming and features 50 different camera angles. Wow. Hitchcock was so satisfied with the score that he doubled the composer's salary. The strings for the shower scene musical sting later served as inspiration for the main theme of Jaws. Wow. They also used chocolate syrup for blood in the shower scene, if I remember that correctly. What was it? Psycho invented color. God, that corpse is terrifying. I never watched that movie. I haven't seen any of these movies actually.
But this word here is also a bit pink, right? It's not just white.
Oh, yep. Good.
He's slowly
0 stars.
getting to colors.
What is that? It's not sepia. What do they call that? Oh,
There we have color in black and white.
that's fucking cool. I love this. All right. What's this one? Night of the Living Dead, 1968, by George Romero. Regarded as the origins of classic zombies in fiction, Night of the Living Dead tells the story of a group of people trapped in a farmhouse in Pennsylvania in the middle of a zombie outbreak. The release of this movie put George Romero on the map as the father of zombies, and he would go on to release other classics such as Dawn of the Dead, 1978, and Day of the Dead, 1985. This living room served as the main base of operations throughout the film. The main characters would watch television broadcasts pertaining to the outbreak while planning on what to do next. It's one of the most profitable independent movies ever made. Adjusted for inflation, it cost around $1.2 million and grossed around $319 million. Good God. Since it aired on October 1st, 1960, and the U.S. movie rating system was established in November 1st, 1960, it's one of the last movies to be released in America without a rating. It's considered one of the origins for many zombie tropes of the time, such as taking headshots to kill them and their necessity of eating human flesh. Very cool. There was one movie my dad always showed me. It was called The Legend of Boggy Creek, and they played a trailer for it, and it's just horrific, or it tries to be, at least for the time. And then at the very end of it, it plays rated G. Like, God, this came out like 1970 something, I think. My dad said he watched it with his friend whenever he was a kid, and his friend's father drove him back to his house, but he lived at the end of he had a driveway that was like a mile long and through a swamp, and he asked his friend's dad if he could drive him all the way home, and he said, "Nope, good luck." Just dropping him off there at night.
After watching the movie.
Yeah.
Nice.
But does it explain why this room is half in color?
Just for aesthetic reasons, I guess.
I guess.
I mean,
That's
it's
the-
probably the
The
first
transition.
color movie.
Can I see a zombie out the window? Are there any zombies trying to break in? Color was invented.
There's
Couch
also
looks familiar.
something sus with that bookshelf over there.
God damn it.
Alright.
All right. Jinx. All right. I see a tape recorder, a very horrific deer head.
Well, that's nice.
Oh, this has to be. This has got to be. What is it? Evil Dead? I have seen this one. Yep. The Evil Dead, 1981, by Sam Raimi. The plot of this movie centers around a group of 5 college students who are vacationing on a cabin in the woods. They find an audio tape that unleashes demons known as Deadites who possess 4 people in the group, leaving the sole survivor, Ash Campbell, to survive against an increasingly gory attack by the demons. This room is a partial recreation of the main room of the cabin where most of the action takes place. It's where most of the supernatural aspects of the movie happen, such as the talking animal heads, deadite attacks, and the demon taunting Ash from the basement trapdoor. Bruce Campbell, who played the main character Ash, had to return home on the back of a pickup truck most days of shooting due to being completely covered in blood. The cabin from the movie served as lodging to the 13 film crew members. Living conditions were less than ideal, and towards the end of filming, the crew had to burn furniture to keep warm at night. The car used by Ash in the movie was owned by Sam Raimi, which was then reused in many of his other films like Spider-Man, The Gift, and Drag Me to Hell. Very cool.
Nice. Somebody asked who built this, but we actually don't know till after the vote is.
Yeah, I have
Close.
absolutely no fucking clue who built this.
Yeah, there's
Not one.
no. This guy is not in this room right here. Definitely
Statue,
not.
your head have anything to say?
Oh, the alien, or at least I think it's called the alien.
What's the recording tape?
Oh, are we going in here now? This doesn't look familiar. There it is. Okay, I missed it. Alien, 1979 by Ridley Scott. The plot centers around a crew of the Nostromo, towing spaceship owned by the Weyland Yutani Corporation as they wake up from cryosleep after receiving a distress call from a nearby vessel. As they go to investigate, they encounter the spawn ground of an alien creature who quickly grows and evolves into the perfect hunter. This represents the aftermath of a gruesome scene that takes place in the dining room or mess hall of the ship. After Kane recovers from an alien attack, the crew decides to have a celebration meal. While that happens, Kane begins to suffer massive pains in his chest, and while the crew is trying to help him, an infant alien creature bursts from his chest cavity and runs away. It is considered by many as one of the most iconic scenes in horror films. In the first failed take of the chest bursting scene, the alien puppet didn't manage to rip through Kane's shirt. This take was still used and is visible in the movie. The look of the xenomorph and the alien spaceship architecture was designed by artist H.R. Geiger, based on his previous works. I actually have heard of him. The role of Ripley came down to Sigourney Weaver and Meryl Streep, since Streep was dealing with the death of her partner at the time. The role was offered to Weaver. Weaver improvised the singing of "You Are My Lucky Star" at the end as a way to help her cope with dealing with the xenomorph. This resulted in a massive cost due to how expensive the rights to the song were. This isn't Alien, this is Spaceballs. Check, please.
I wonder what the food was.
There's peas. There's peas. Peas on Earth. Peas in space. Oh, that's a double.
Dark again.
Oh shit! Oh no!
Oh god, no.
Oh.
Wait! No!
What even
Was this
movie
the right
is
way?
this?
Was this the
I've
way to
never
come?
ever seen anything like this.
I guess that is the only way out. Okay. Jesus Christ. Well, I already know what this is.
I don't.
Gotta be The Thing. The Thing, 1982 by John Carpenter, based on the 1938 John W. Campbell Jr. novella Who Goes There. The film centers around the paranoia created after a group of American researchers in Antarctica encounter an extraterrestrial life form that consumes and imitates living organisms. The group must survive as they realize they can't trust in each other, and any of them could be the Thing. This is a partial recreation of the kennel of the Antarctica base after the Thing sneaks into the base in the guise of a dog. It attacks and begins assimilating the other canines as a creature begins to expand. Childs, played by Keith David, was that? I never knew. Why did that hit me like a brick? I never knew that was Keith David. Torches the creature with a flamethrower. It's John Carpenter's favorite movie. Kind of self-centered, I guess. The movie was considered a failure at release, both commercially and critically. Over the decades, the film gained a cult following and is now considered one of the best horror movies ever made. Kurt Russell, who played McCready, had to take a drag of a cigarette before certain shots to make his breath more visible, simulating colder temperatures. I think that was a big, fan theory at the end of the movies. Which one of them had hot breath or some shit like that. I don't think you could tell really. Or Woofy. Fucking love The Thing. It's one of my favorite movies too.
I've actually never
yep.
watched
The Shining. Get your butts up here. Love it. Wonder if they included The Room. The Shining, 1980 by Stanley Kubrick. After taking a job as a caretaker of a resort hotel and an aspiring novelist and recovering alcoholic, descends into madness and hunts his wife and child. is considered one of the most important horror movies of all time and is still the subject of many theories and interpretations to this day. This room, while not exact like in the movie due to scale, this is an interpretation of the corridors on the ground floor with the movie's iconic carpet pattern. The elevator at the end of the hallway mimics a scene where Wendy, played by Shelley Duvall, witnesses a wave of blood pouring out of one of the elevators, which I also think was chocolate syrup. Something. This was one of the first movies to use the Steadicam technology, released only 5 years prior. Both Kubrick and Duvall were nominated as the worst director and worst actress on the 1981 Razzies. Over the years, critical reception of the movie became more favorable, and in 2022, Duvall's award was rescinded over the revelations about Kubrick's treatment of Duvall on set. Yeah, I heard she was not having a good time. Kubrick's perfectionism heavily affected everyone on set, including Duvall, who was emotionally scarred, who suffered from nervous exhaustion, physical illness, and hair loss. Yeah.
Horror movie on both ends, I guess.
Red rum. Rum. Gonna go in the... Where's the naked lady? I dig the splash. That's cool. All right. Okay.
Hey, yo.
I used to have a hard drive full of movies I ripped off of some torrent site, and The Shining was on there, and I used to just let it play while I was sleeping. One night I woke up at 3 a.m. and the fucking Shining was playing right at that scene with the fucking lady in the bathtub. I'm like, oh my god, I can't do this shit right now. I turned that shit off so quick. This has to be The Silence of the Lambs or whatever the first one was. Yep, Silence of the Lambs, 1991. By Jonathan Demme? In order to capture a serial killer named Buffalo Bill, FBI trainee Clarice Starling has to collaborate with the incarcerated and brilliant psychiatrist Hannibal Lecter, who is also a cannibalistic serial killer. She also played Elastigirl, I think. Okay, Jesus Christ. This room represents a piece of the prison hall where Hannibal's cell is located, where Clarice first meets him. In order to showcase an authentic and believable FBI investigation, the FBI's Behavioral Science Unit helped with the making of the movie. Anthony Hopkins, who plays Hannibal, improvised a mocking of Clarice's accent during their first meeting, and the FBI's agent reaction is the genuine reaction of the actress Jodie Foster. Huh. To prepare for the role, Hopkins visited prisons, studied serial killer files, and was present during the court hearings for gruesome cases. I also think he was dating, what was her name? She hangs out with Snoop Dogg now. They were dating at the time, but then she had to break up with him because she couldn't stop seeing him as Hannibal Lecter. Martha Stewart, I think.
All right, we go to the next one.
Any of you guys got some fava beans?
Ooh.
Oh, my.
Okay. This has to be, let me guess. It's gotta be The Exorcist? Exorcism? Something? Nope. A Nightmare on Elm Street, 1984, by Wes Craven. This film tells the story of a group of teenagers who are targeted by Freddy Krueger, a child murderer who, after death, murders people through their dreams. Together with Halloween, Scream, and Friday the 13th, it's considered a pillar of classic slasher movies. It spawned many sequels, a remake, a crossover, and a TV series.
How is there so much room for all this?
I know, right? This fucking place is huge. This is a recreation of the room where one of the most iconic deaths in the franchise takes place. Glenn, played by Johnny Depp, falls asleep and is attacked by Freddy, who pulls him inside his bed. A moment later, a geyser of blood erupts and covers the ceiling. The studio, New Line Cinema, was saved from bankruptcy by the success of this movie. Heather Langenkamp beat over 200 actresses for the role of main character Nancy, including Demi Moore and Courtney Cox. Unlike what happens in other long-standing slasher franchises, Robert Englund played the role of Freddy in all 6 movies, with the exception of the remake. Huh. That's a lot of blood.
Yep.
This is another one I haven't seen.
All right.
Oh, is this Saw?
That's gotta be. Wow, that's
How is this dirt
terrifying.
effect achieved? Is this a texture?
Yeah, it's one of Kuro's transparent textures.
Oh.
Oh, how the fuck did I never find about this is a tragedy.
Pattern dirty. Very nice.
How did I not know about that? God, you learn something new every day. Saw 2004, directed by James Wan. This film tells the story of a mysterious killer named Jigsaw who tests his victims' will to live by putting them in life-threatening games. The first movie follows mainly 2 victims, Adam and Lawrence, who wake up chained inside a grungy, abandoned bathroom. Considered as the inspiration for the late 2000s wave of dark, gritty, and gory movies such as Hostel and Human Centipede. This room is a recreation of the bathroom where most of the action, dialogue, and puzzle solving in the movie takes place. Dude needs to clean his bathroom. Shit. Hire a housekeeper. Adam was played by the now famous horror director Leigh Whannell, who also helped write the movie. Over the years, he helped write many horror movies such as the Insidious franchise and Dead Silence, as well as directing hits such as 2020's The Invisible Man. The whole movie was filmed in 18 days. James Wan wanted the cinematography to reflect the mental state of each character. To achieve that, he used steady cameras for shots with Dr. Gordon, and they held that in a handheld for shots with Adam. Okay. Huh. Was this his bathroom in his house, or was it like did he like live in a warehouse or something? That's great. Oh, I thought you fell down through there.
Sank in.
Sit on the toilet.
Looks
No,
very nice.
look,
Like
travesty.
the dark
Your old
pattern
dog.
makes it look really realistic.
Yeah, I do love that shit. That's crazy. It's neat how you can just kind of place it everywhere.
Nice.
Okay. Oh, what's going on up here? Oh, it. Nice.
Ooh.
Never saw that one either. I get the point of it though. It 2017, not the original. Okay. Directed by Andreas Muschietti. There we go. This film was the second adaptation of a Stephen King novel by the same name, and it tells the story of a group of kids known as the Losers Club that band together to investigate the mysterious disappearances of children around the small town of Derry, Maine. During their investigations, they are tormented by a creepy clown entity who uses their biggest fears against them.
Yep, the rain
Me
effect
too.
is great.
That is nice. This room is a recreation of the opening scene of the movie where a young Georgie is playing with his paper boat in the rain when it falls inside a storm drain. When he goes to get it, the figure of a clown shows up and tricks him into sticking his arm just inside just to bite his arm off and drag him into the sewers. Jesus Christ. Happens to the best of us. Much of the banter between the characters was improv. It is the highest grossing Stephen King adaptation to date. In Germany, Burger King paid for an ad space after the movie where they just showed the BK logo with the words, "The moral is never trust a clown," making the whole movie an effectively anti-McDonald's ad.
That's funny.
That's terrifying.
Man, the shade.
I keep trying to zoom in with the grave key, but I don't have Optifine. Oh. Okay. I couldn't have a single clue about what this one is. It Comes at Night, 2017, directed by Trey Edward Schultz. Coming from the late 2010s wave of psychological horror films, it focuses on a family hiding in a forest cabin as the world is being overtaken by a highly contagious, deadly disease, and the paranoia and mistrust that it inflicts between them. That does sound appealing, right? This is a recreation of the corridor with the red door, the only way in and out of the house, and a key element to the wave of mistrust that falls upon the group. The title was the first thing Trey created for the movie. Okay, so the exact opposite of that other guy who started last. The plot and characters were created to fit the title. The cast and crew signed an NDA that forbids them of ever revealing what comes at night. Okay. The certain posters and specific scenes in the movie seem to take inspiration from the works of Serbian artist Dragan Bibin, who paints works that feature the feelings of anxiety and the fear of the unknown portrayed in this movie. Huh. Okay. That does sound like an interesting movie. I might have to check that one out.
I'm still confused. Like, how many
seriously, what
rooms
the
are
fuck?
there?
The exhibit is a horror in the middle. Are we ever gonna get out? We're gonna go through the entire history of horror. Hereditary, I heard that was good. Never seen it though. Directed by Ari Aster. After the death of their secretive grandmother, a grieving family is tormented by sinister occurrences that slowly deteriorate their sanity and relationships with each other. A smaller recreation of Annie's, played by Toni Collette. Miniature studio. The miniature on the desk with the chair is Annie's grief and cope-driven recreation of a tragic accident that heavily affected the family. Uh-oh. Most of the indoor scenes of the movie were filmed in custom sets to give the movie a dollhouse aesthetic, to also match the main character Annie's profession as a miniature artist. She was small. In order to achieve certain shots, the walls on the set were designed to be removed in order to create seamless transitions from miniature recreations of the house to the actual set. Toni Collette told her agent that she was overplaying heavy or dark movies and only wanted to do comedies. However, she loved the script of Hereditary so much that she couldn't turn it down. Very cool. So many jars and I'm guessing this is the one that caused grief. Looks like the cars, somebody was hanging out the window and they hit a telephone pole. Damn, that is gruesome.
Ouch.
All right. Oh, it's the gift shop. We made it out. Almost. It looks like the plant from Little Shop of Horrors. Scream, Freddy Krueger. I don't know what that bottom one is.
The horror of all capitalism.
The worst horror of all, capitalism. Before continuing to the last exhibit, why not buy some plushies? Smiley face. Don't forget to take your free pin on the way out. When you're ready to proceed, walk through the black wall and take a leap of faith. Huh.
For the love of all that's holy, please return all those masks you bought and rebuy the correct ones. Remember, it's Michael Myers. Not Michael Myers.
There's an
Oh,
inventory inside this pot here.
for those that don't get it, it's Mike Myers from Austin Powers, not Michael Myers from what, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Oh, I love that shit. Does anybody know who the orange jumpsuit doll is?
Is that Kill Bill?
Does it say? What is it? Oh, Sam. Sam from who? I don't know who Sam is. Sam Hill? Oh, never heard of that one. Geronimo! Woo! Feel like we've been here.
You passed the buttons of the exhibit.
Yeah, I get it. Oh, shit. Alright. Get Out, 2017, directed by Jordan Peele. In his directorial debut, Peele tells the story of a young black man who uncovers a conspiracy while on a trip to visit his white girlfriend's family. This visual recreation of the sunken place, a void that Missy, the mom of the family, uses during her hypnotherapy sessions to hypnotize and trap the main character. This was the first movie directed by Jordan Peele, who previously only worked on comedy, including the sketch show Key and Peele, which was fantastic. Jordan Peele took inspiration for the title of the movie after witnessing many black audiences yelling "Get out" to the characters that were in obviously dangerous situations in horror movies, many of them black. Allison Williams was cast as the girlfriend Rose to disorient the audiences into trust her character, as she was used to playing good people. I'm going to say that again. Allison Williams was cast as the girlfriend Rose to disorient the audiences into trusting her character, as she was used to playing good people in other movies. Neat.
Oh, nice.
Can I sit in the chair? Can't sit in the chair. I probably can, but there's probably water everywhere in front of me.
Yeah.
Alright, that was fucking cool.
Yeah, it was.
That was
That
insane.
must have taken a lot of work.
I
How
still
big is
wonder
this
how this
fucking
all
set?
fit inside here. Crazy.
Whoever made that, good
20
job.
Cubed is a pretty big space.
Yeah.